To Capitol Hill now, where House Republicans are revving up their impeachment inquiry of President Biden by going after the White House's documents on the president's son, Hunter. The heads of the Oversight and Judiciary Committees asking for all, quote, documents and communications sent or received by employees of the executive office of the president regarding the deposition of Hunter Biden. It was just a few weeks ago that House Republicans expected Hunter Biden to come and testify to them privately. Instead, he stood them up, saying he'd only talk in a public setting. The committee chairs are now following up on a promise to investigate Hunter's no-show and whether the president himself played a role in encouraging his son not to testify. NBC's Ryan Nobles is following all of this for us tonight. What are these House committees expecting or hoping to find among these documents from the White House? And will the White House play ball here?
Yeah, Aaron, what they're trying to find is some sort of direct connection or some sort of collaboration between the White House and Hunter Biden's legal team that led to the president himself specifically telling Hunter Biden not to comply with the committee's subpoena to appear for a deposition. And they're not basing it really on much hard evidence, instead just public statements from members of the White House team, not the president himself, and the way that Hunter Biden conducted himself. So that's why they've taken this step of asking for communications between the Hunter Biden legal team and the White House to see if there's any specific advice being provided by the White House counsel's office or members of the administration instructing Hunter Biden to not comply with the subpoena. This is what they say. The fact that the president had advanced awareness that Mr. Biden would defy the committee's subpoena raises a troubling new question that we must examine: whether the president corruptly sought to influence or obstruct the committee's proceedings by preventing, discouraging, or dissuading his son from complying with the committee's subpoenas. Such conduct could constitute an impeachable offense. And it is a little peculiar that the committee is now raising another possible impeachable offense as they continue this inquiry into President Biden, specifically because they have yet to display any hard evidence that links Hunter Biden's business dealings with the president himself, especially anything that would rise to the level of high crimes and misdemeanors. The White House at this point is not commenting on this letter that was sent by James Comer and Jim Jordan to the White House asking for this information, and whether or not they'll supply it remains an open question. Of course, Aaron, there has to be this type of communication that specifically fits this bill in order for the White House to send it over. So this will likely be a lengthy back and forth between the two sides before we get any sort of resolution. Aaron?
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or follow us on social media.